Hi all, this is the reading from the Office of POOFness for June 24th, Finally to be Free. Greetings and salutations. Many of you have asked us to pass along your questions for Zap to respond. Below are a few questions and answers that you may be extremely interested in. From Zap, hi all. I understand the desire to have the questions below answered, as I too seek the same to give me a path to consider through the morass of misinformation we are subjected to. Tad difficult at times, and guesswork supported by puzzle pieces is sometimes the best we have before us, but I will do the best I can. If I do not know, I will say so. Number one question: when will we see deliveries? When will we have F&P in our hands? Last week in June, first week in July, when? When the purple pigs fly. The answer is when the authorities decide. The closest estimate is based on the event scheduled to transpire, so you can get a baseline flavor of the actual timing based on the following. First, the release of the redemption funds on the historic Chinese and Mexican bonds has to begin, and that is now scheduled for next week, now that the fifth signatory has taken his place on the Council of Five, replacing the dear one that passed on us recently. Secondly, the global AU settlements can take place after the release of the redemption funds. Thirdly, the RV of Dinardong can take place in Basel III installed, and then the F&P can take place. Is the F&P for us to spend as we wish to pay off loans, go on vacations, buy new cars, purchase new homes, and the like? Yes. How many F&P payments, equally divided, payable over what period? This I do not know, but many, of course. Payment would be a lump sum to be distributed accordingly. Any strings attached? No. Settlements do not have strings. You said many multimillionaires would be created from funds from PP. How does this hold true for F&P? Misconstruction here. There will be many multimillionaires created, about 25 million or so, from the dinar/dong reevaluation, not the F&P. The PP is very different structuring, and yes, there will be more multimillionaires created from that. Are the prosperity program funds we receive to be used entirely or a percentage of for humanitarian purposes? Can we bank some of these funds for us? That's a nice lumping of salient questions dealing with the same thing, almost. I will split them up. In answer, the prosperity program funds are for you. You can do what you wish with them. My strong suggestion is not to get into the lottery mentality and go crazy, as it has been proven that when folks win some millions, they first settle down and try to get good advice on how to handle them, besides going out immediately and getting a new car, etc. Then they usually disregard the advice they receive and go nuts. They buy a big house, a boat, a container of fluffy toys, whatever. Then a year later, when they run out of money and the tax payments on the house come due and they cannot pay, the house is foreclosed on and they are in worse shape than when they started. Typical documented cycle. My suggestion is to get this advice and stick to it. Safer, and you will wind up with a solid footing in your life if you do not succumb to overspending without income stream to support the inevitable support requirements later. When you get some millions, take care of yourself and your family first and foremost, then friends. But salt some away and put the rest into good projects that make sense and help others, and have some sort of profit structure attached for ongoing sustainability. Humanitarian stuff is a different animal, and leave that to us, since that will take billions, and you will not have that. If you want to do humanitarian, there will be a portal for you to apply to soon with your intent, and we'll be very happy to give you a helping hand to join in and help spend billions for the right reasons. This is only for those with the right heart and mindset, as it is very demanding. Question: how many prosperity program payments equally divided? Payable over what period? How long after FMP will we receive prosperity payments or same time? This I cannot say, division or payment schedule. The prosperity payment program payments will be revealed as to that structure when they occur only. Both FMP and prosperity payment funds are scheduled and may occur in parallel. I do not know yet. We have always heard there will be some form of debt forgiveness. Most people have been burned from past home, auto, and student loans, plus high interest credit cards, and there is no way currently to qualify for any type of loan due to forced bankruptcy and or low or poor credit scores assigned by the cabal style of debt banking. Can you please explain how debt forgiveness or some form of how some form of debit forgiveness or some form of debt forgiveness will apply to regular people outside of the programs or in? Seems with new currency and a new system there should be a clean slate for the people. After all, the crooks of the cabal profited while the people were enslaved. Answer: true, the cabal has designed banking to enslave and steal through the greatest evil perpetrated on our humanity, compound interest. The installation of Basel III will see this evil reduced to a pesky mosquito only, and the system rebalanced for the benefit of our humanity. Debt forgiveness is an inevitability, and this will help us all to breathe, shake off the mantle of enslavement, and begin the reconstruction period that is now upon us. We must maintain a responsible way of thought through that to ensure nothing stupid happens. It will come down to common sense. Thanks, Will Rogers. Whatever makes sense and does no harm and helps others will be the way of the times. This applies to all. The average Joe without access to the prosperity payments will benefit greatly and will have accessibility to other forms of prosperity payments that will raise his standard of life. Of that you can be certain. Nobody gets left behind. Question: we have heard that there will be no more IRS or Federal Reserve in the U.S. I see how the Federal Reserve can be rolled into the U.S. Treasury. Would the IRS go away completely or just roll into the U.S. Treasury and continue tax collections? Any comments on tax rates going up or down? If the U.S. debt is paid off, why collect taxes? Answer: look, government is necessary. Taxes are required. They pay for our infrastructure. They pay for roads. We like roads. They pay for water in our taps and many things not herein stated. But bloated government run for benefit of political wallets is not in the cards anymore. Think of a flat tax that does take care of the basics. That makes sense, right? Police, fire, emergency, medical, and all that is required as well. Who wants anarchy to rule? The Fed served a function for legal sort of theft, but Treasury is the key to the country under Basel III. Long time ago, a power was given to the private corporation called the Fed. Treasury assumed a subservient role, but it still retains the real power. And well it should. Treasury represents the government financial side and is absolutely critical to the continued functioning of the country. I cannot see tax going up, but I can see a flat tax that makes sense. Will we have a choice between signing up for a prosperity payment project or implementing one of our own? Will a percentage of our funds be encumbered for a project at the time our PP funds are dispersed to us from the banks? Answer: yes. You will have a choice at all times. You can do both if you wish, or just one. There will be no encumbrance. Why would there be? That's nonsense. PP funds are just that, no strings. Question: can you share any more news about switching over to the new, quote, republic in the U.S.? How long will it take for us to see changes? July, August, to fully implement? 2 to 5 years? Will Obama step down? Answer: the Republic of the United States has never disappeared, just overlaid with a corporate version for a period of time. Since that did not work out, back we go to the original. But this time the Republic will thrive instead of being suppressed. Again, this is just plain common sense. Would be very cool if that happened for the 4th of July, but I do have one concern. The July 4th gun parade demonstration. So a parade happens with a crowd of people marching with guns. We all know that to disrupt a demonstration, ringers are put in that at some appointed moment they raise a ruckus and a peaceful demonstration becomes an angry mob, trashing windows of stores and looting them. So much for a peaceful demonstration. So what if some guy in the parade at some appointed moment shoots off a gun during this demonstration? Well, I figure that will give the excuse for instant martial law what they want, and getting out of that will take a long time. And this is a clear potential for the continued life of the cabal. I would recommend against demonstrating with guns and use fluffy toys instead. Hard to shoot at people with fluffy toys, and questions would be raised as opposed to shooting people carrying guns. Whoever thought up the idea of a demonstration carrying guns is either a cabal plant or a true patriot with the intellectual agility of a small soap dish. Question: will or corporations and business elites still be about the same but tweaked as to for the new constitution? Yes, of course, business will continue as usual and will only become stronger and better for the benefit of the country. Outsourcing gutted the manufacturing infrastructure of Uncle Sam. Time to get it back. In other news, the old one that passed has been replaced by another to carry on. The final signatures will be done on the releases this coming week, and humanity will breathe. We are all now standing on the verge of the changes prophesied and set into the divine plan so long ago, and we are all truly blessed to be living at this time to witness the culmination of decades of effort at this time. The boys and girls from upstairs are also rejoicing and getting ready to join in the party down here with us. This is also inevitable. In this respect, the government fellow in Canada stated the existence of our brothers and sisters publicly. Yes, Canada did it. Here's the link for your look-see link. So do get ready for the changes to come as the releases of over 400 tons of the 6 fuel allocated begin for getting the debts of the countries resolved and get the new infrastructure in place. More to come in the next days. God bless. In love and light in our service, Zap. Poof says, quote, I know the world you are entering, but to explain it in detail I would fail miserably because it is of something that is far from people's experience. What they've been taught since youth. So for some it will be like being a little tyke going to their first day in school. The bad guys in this world are in panic mode, so the venom coming out of their mouths and off their fingertips is at an all-time high. They aren't the first I have ticked off. That honor belongs to my parents. I asked too many unsettling questions, to which they responded by saying, that's the way it is, and why can't you just leave things alone? Now those questions are about to be answered publicly. That's why they are in fear of exposure. Don't cry now. You didn't cry when you did what you did it. Don't expect to hear about the guilty and the arrested going out in the daily news. Not time yet. Close, but not this instant. You can be sure their families know they haven't come home from work. Most had no prior knowledge their jobs were in jeopardy, so no chance to, quote, set up for their terminations. Before this all hits the ground, the Rafters performed some operations to make sure you wouldn't be going through a bunch of crap once you went to the banks to access. It's not like folks didn't have plenty of warning prior to this. They chose to believe it would never happen or that somehow they could stop it. Study long, study wrong. If your theory is wrong, sooner or later it will prove wrong. Love is the most powerful force in the universe, not all that relative stuff. The creative force that causes all to exist. Pure, unadulterated love. Sometimes truth sounds mean. Oh well, get over yourself. The warm and cuddlies are over. Time to put your big pants on and be the adult. Remember, 10,000 may fall on your right side, 10,000 at your left, but not a hair on your head would be harmed. Could you be loved? Paul is moving down out of the rafters right now, so chill out and let the screamer scream as you prepare to walk away from him. Consultations upon request until the doorbell rings. Love and kisses, Susan and Steph. From the office of POOFness. P.S. Zepp says there are 3 rules to follow only. They are simple, but difficult for some. They are: be good, be legal, tell truth. That is the end of that reading. Until next time, see you later.